How to add square in Origin. Whether you need good help, a genius writer, a brainy tutor, or a data wizard, Intudo4U has them all. It's like having a research dream team on demand.
You know the feeling, right? You've done all the hard work, run the analysis, and OriginLab spits out a graph. And, well, it's fine. It's correct, but it's also kind of generic. Today, we're going to change that. We are going to take one of those standard default graphs and turn it into something truly special, a polished, publication-ready masterpiece that actually tells a story.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why the defaults are just a starting point. Then we're going to get hands-on. We'll perfect the lines, create some awesome custom symbols, and then add annotations with real precision. And finally, we'll see the whole thing come together.
And here is what we are aiming for. Take a look. On the left, you've got your standard issue origin graph. It does the job. But on the right, that's the destination. It's polished, it's unique, it's ready to go straight into a publication. See how much clearer and more impactful that is? The secret is all in the details, and that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
All right, let's kick things off. Because, a default graph just shows numbers. A custom graph, that tells a story with confidence.
Okay, time to get practical. First up, we're perfecting the lines. This is the foundation, the skeleton of our graph, so we got to get it right.
Okay, so here's a little pro tip, something you might have never even noticed. By default, most lines in Origin have these little round ends. I know, it sounds like a tiny, tiny detail, but trust me, once you see the difference, you can't unsee it. Switching to a square cap just gives everything a much sharper, more precise finish.
So, how do we fix it? The magic wand here is something called system variables. Think of this table as your secret decoder ring. You want to change the lines on your 2D plot? That's LCP. Need to sharpen up those axis lines and tick marks? You're looking for LCA. There's one for pretty much everything. Arrows, text frames, you name it. It's all about having that precise control.
And the best part? It's ridiculously easy to do. Seriously, you just go to Preferences, find System Variables, then you type in the variable name, like LCP, and set its new value. Hit refresh on your graph and boom, instant upgrade. Just 3 little steps to a way cleaner, more professional look.
Okay, our lines are looking sharp. Now let's talk about the stars of the show, the data points themselves. The symbols you use are basically the face of your data, so it's super important to make them stand out.
Now, your first stop should definitely be Origin's built-in symbol library. Honestly, it's pretty extensive. You've got a whole bunch of standard shapes that'll work great for most projects. It's the fastest and easiest way to make your data series look different.
I mean, you've got all the classics, right? Squares, circles, triangles. But then you've got other cool ones like diamonds, stars, even hexagons. There's a really solid selection available right away, so you can make sure nobody's ever going to confuse one set of data for another.
But what if standard just doesn't cut it, right? What if you need something totally unique? Maybe you want to use your company's logo or a specific shape that represents the material you're studying. What do you do when the built-in library just isn't enough?
Well, you've got 2 awesome options. Path number 1, for total creative freedom, you can design your own symbol in another program, save it as an SVG or a BMP, and then just import it. Path number 2, the super quick way. Find a symbol you like online, right-click and copy the image, and you can paste it straight in from your clipboard. Either way, you get a symbol that is 100% yours.
All right, we've got sharp lines and unique symbols. The visuals are getting there. Now it's time to add the story. This is where annotations come in. They're how you guide your audience and tell them what they're looking at.
Yeah, you should really burn this into your brain. A graph without an explanation is just a picture. It's the annotations that turn that picture into something that actually communicates an idea.
And one of my favorite tools for this is the frame property. Just think of it as a way to make your labels pop right off the page. Instead of just having text kind of floating there, maybe getting lost in the data, you can wrap it in a nice clean box or give it a little shadow. It makes it so much easier to read. And it's super easy to set up. You just pop open the plot details, head over to the Label tab, and you'll see a drop-down for the frame. Pick box or shadow, and you can even tweak things like the color and the spacing to get it looking just right for your graph style. But hey, annotations aren't just for text. Don't forget about the drawing tools. You can draw shapes like a rectangle or a polygon right onto your graph. This is an amazing way to highlight a specific area of interest, to basically put a big visual fence around it and say, hey, look here.
So, we've covered our 3 big techniques: sharpening our lines, creating custom symbols, and adding precise annotations. We've got all the pieces. Now, let's put them all together and see the final result.
Let's just take one last look at where we started. Remember this? The before picture? Functional? Yes. Inspiring? Not so much. All the data's there, but the story, it's kind of hiding. Keep this image in your mind.
And now, the after. Look at that. It is a complete transformation. We're looking at the exact same data, but the difference in clarity is just night and day.
The story jumps right out at you. This isn't just a graph anymore, it's a professional figure, ready for prime time.
So how do we get here? It wasn't one giant leap. It was a bunch of small, smart changes. First, we sharpened up those lines with square caps. Then, we swapped out that generic circle for a custom symbol that's totally unique. We made the labels pop by putting them in frames. And finally, we drew a simple shape to point everyone's attention to a key part of the data. Each little tweak built on the last, adding another layer of polish.
See, every set of data has a story locked inside it. And with tools like these, you're not just the person who runs the numbers, you're the storyteller. You get to bring that story to life. So the real question is, how are you going to shape yours?
And subscribe now for more amazing videos just like that. Thanks for watching.